Sunraysia Petroleum is a major fuel distribution business in northwest Victoria, with a state-of-the-art depot located in Arimpool, Swan Hill and another underway in Oyen. With 6 interstate V-double combinations and 2 interstate road trains, Sunraysia Petroleum has the capacity to service an impressive number of farms in the region, as well as multiple service stations, some of which are owned and operated by the company. Sunraysia Petroleum in recent years has expanded into the supply and care of the region's bulk fuel tanks, whilst also growing their distribution of Shell and Castrol lubricants. Amongst all of this, Sunraysia Petroleum also services and maintains multiple outside payment terminals in Berrywillick, Quambatook and Walpiep, giving rural areas the 24/7 access to fuel they desperately need. Whilst this fuel distribution company is forever growing, it is at heart a family business with humble beginnings, which is reflected in the business's focus on servicing its community. With competition growing fierce in the region, it is more important, now more than ever, that Sunraysia Petroleum continues its innovative growth. In order to do this, it is important that your staff are equipped with not only the skills to make improvements, but also a vision which ensures such changes are working towards the business's goals. This is where goal setting theory comes into play, as I show you why clearly defined goals would be more beneficial to this business's growth than working hard with no direction. As a business at the cusp of great exponential growth, efficiency is key to ensure human resources can become available to work on the challenges which development and change can bring. Humans, by their very nature, are goal-orientated. Goals create structure, motivation, and have the capacity to direct an individual's behaviour. The structure which goal setting would create for Sunraysia Petroleum would lead to refined efficiency thanks to motivation and direction. Setting a manager the goal to educate those under them to complete more tasks would not only create growth in the employee learning, but also creates time, which is valuable to the business's progress as managers can go on to more pressing and challenging tasks. But there are a few things we need to consider before we can delve into just setting goals for your employees. For a goal to be effective, it needs to be enticing and challenging. There is no question that people who care about a task will be more interested and focused on the task completion. One of the main findings over 400 empirical studies which led to the development of goal setting found that there is a linear relationship between the degree of goal difficulty and performance. It was also found that the performance of participants with the more difficult goals was over 250% higher than those with the easiest goals. This tells us that goals need to be diverse and thought-provoking. So you shouldn't go tell your COO to alphabetically organise all your lubricants, nor should you ask your CFO to punch in a month's worth of fuel deliveries into a spreadsheet. This will detach them from their work, so give them something they can sink their teeth into instead. Give them a project which has been neglected, something which needs problem solving. Give them access to staff under them and encourage them to set challenging tasks for these employees. Before you know it, you have an entire network of people motivated to get their daily tasks done so quickly that they have hours to spend on the enticing project that they need to help their leader with. They're engaged, they care about the outcome, and in a short time, a project which has been let go is well on its way to completion. Not only do goals need to be challenging, but they also need to be specific, clear and defined. A vague and abstract goal like do your best is too open-ended to create the focus required to make true progress. Locke et al. Discovered this while conducting 53 individual studies, 96% of which showed the benefit of setting specific goals. This theory has major implications for a business experiencing a crisis. During COVID-19, Sunraysia Petroleum was dealt with some tough cards. Managers watched the life drain from their service stations, and Director Steve Saunders wondered how the business would survive the major hole in their cash flow. Although an unfortunate event, the pandemic held great opportunities for innovation and problem solving. Managers could have been set with the perplexing task of how they would keep their customers coming through their doors whilst minimising costs. This specific type of goal can disperse the stresses of a business in crisis and be of great help to the company surviving the challenging conditions. Whilst you could set your staff performance goals, project tasks, and targets to meet, if you do not review their performance, there is no telling whether or not the goal has been effective. Feedback is necessary for an individual to know whether to increase effort, as well as to adhere to or change a strategy in order to ensure goal attainment. This is why for goals to be beneficial, they need to be monitored and reviewed for overall efficiency. So I ask you, Director Stephen Saunders, Chief Financial Officer Daniel Frasca, Chief Operations Officer Travis Barth, and Senior Executive April Saunders, do you have goals for your business? Do you have dreams and aspirations? I am almost certain you do, for without drive, purpose, and a star to shoot for, Sunraysia Petroleum would not be the business it is today. But what about your valued employees? Do they have the same dreams? Do they even know what they are? As you continue to expand and strive for more success, may I suggest that you will not be able to do it alone. And may I suggest that you have a lot more you can harness from your employees and each department they operate within. May I suggest you set them goals, you motivate them, and direct them to the future of Sunraysia Petroleum. And may you all acknowledge that the tragedy of life doesn't lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy lies in having no goals to reach.